Hey, how's it going there, guys? My name is Chris, and welcome to another Barbs Reviews episode. Now, today it is my first episode of reviewing a TV series or TV show. Now, I've done products and movies mainly, but today I'm trying something new, and I'm trying a TV series. I'll be doing a number of TV series. Now, every TV series I review, I have watched all the seasons of them, or more than one or two at least. So my reviews are based on more than sufficient amounts of the TV episodes. So today I'm going to be reviewing a very good TV show that was on Channel 7 in Australia probably a year or so ago. It was outstanding. It's actually now 5 seasons in. Now, I'm still waiting to hear if it's got a season 6 coming out, which I truly hope is the case, because there's a lot of cliffhangers even from season 5 that we still don't know the answers to. But I'll be going in on that. So the TV series that I'll be reviewing today is The Blacklist. Now, if you don't know, The Blacklist is about a person called Raymond Reddington on the top 10 most wanted list of the FBI. Now, this man, he's a very unique criminal. He runs cartels all over the world, and he's known to be dangerous. That's why he's on the top 10. So there's a lot to go through. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lackin'.
Here to see Assistant Director Harold Cooper. Tell him it's Raymond Reddington.
It really is him. What does he want?
You must have many questions. So let's begin with the most important one. Why I'm here. One man, his name is Ranko Zamani. You want him. I want him. Now, I'll give you Zamani, but from this point forward, I speak only with Elizabeth Keene.
Agent Keene, Donald Wrestler. They need you to come with me right away.
Well, I'm here.
I'm gonna make you famous, Lizzie.
I need your help with Zamani.
I'm a criminal. Criminals are notorious liars.
Are you the one who did this?
You're gonna make a great team. Understand Zamani was only the first.
First what?
Name on the list.
What list?
Let's call it the Blacklist. That sounds exciting.
So today I will be reviewing, as you saw from that trailer just then, The Blacklist. Now, The Blacklist is probably one of my favourite shows that I've watched. It's taking the most common crime investigative storyline like Criminal Minds and all that. You get all those investigations. Now each episode, like Criminal Minds and that, you get a criminal or person to investigate. But the biggest thing, which I'll go into soon, is The Blacklist does exceptionally well at the other side, which is the storyline of the characters, where like Criminal Minds doesn't seem to do that as well. So, the Blacklist. What is the Blacklist? So, I watched it personally on Channel 7 in Australia about a year ago. There's 5 seasons now. I can't believe they're banging out that many. It's great to see. Um, and also, I'm hoping there's a season 6 coming out soon. Because end of season 5 even, there were still cliffhangers that we needed the answers to. So we don't, and because of the ratings, the pure ratings, we're hoping that it's enough for, it's enough ratings to keep it going. So the story, what is the Blacklist? Now, as you saw in that trailer just then, you saw a little bit. Now, James Spader, he's a brilliant actor. He plays Raymond Reddington, and he is on the top 10 most wanted list of the FBI, and he's wanted for various crimes. He's very stylish yet calm, and that's what I really like about him. He's a very good character, but I'll go into characters later. Now, he hands himself in, although for some weird reason, and you kind of figure out in the first episode that because he wants to only talk to Elizabeth Keene, which is played by Megan Boone, which is another main character, she's got her first day at the FBI the same day James Spader mysteriously handed himself in. So from the get-go, there's this weird connection. Why is Raymond Reddington handing himself in the same day as Elizabeth Keene is starting at the FBI? So there's immediate questions. And that's what I like about this TV series, because there's not a limited amount of questions needed to be answered. And half the time when a question is answered, there's about 5 other questions needed to be answered after that from that answer. And that's what is so hard for a lot of movies and TV shows these days. But the Blacklist somehow has written a storyline that has truly been able to run well. They've able to be and like that's exactly what like James Spader said in an interview, that with lots of the content you find something out, but then that raises just as many questions from the answer you just wanted for another question. So it's continuously using cliffhangers and your questions to keep you entertained, which is great to see, because surprisingly enough, it hasn't dried up in interest-wise. But I'll talk about more of that later. So Raymond Reddington hands himself into the FBI. He asked basically for Howard Cooper, who is the assistant director, which will be Harry Lennox, acted by Harry Lennox, a great actor, and there's a team eventually that will work with Raymond Reddington. He breaks a deal for immunity. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but I'll give the basics away for you to kind of get a gist. But what it is he has handed himself in on the face value this is. He's handed himself in, he's asked for immunity, and he's working with the FBI to catch other criminals that he's worked with in the past. But the thing is, he's always got this secret agenda like a criminal. And he's a great character. Meanwhile, he's also somehow connected to Elizabeth Keene, which is very much drifted through the whole 5 seasons. You just wonder what's going on. So, yeah, it's interesting to see. But that's played by James Spader. Now, story-wise, it is outstanding. Now, breaking down the group, the FBI group. So, there's a partner, main male partner as a police officer, or FBI agents more, called Donald Wrestler. That's the character name. And he's, interesting character. He's played by Diego, I've got the list, Diego Kittenhoff, hopefully I said that right. So, as I'm starting here, I'm going to start moving into the same kind of structure I do for the movie reviews. I'm going to start moving into characters first, actually, because there's a lot of characters to explain. So, Donald Wessler, like I just said, is a partner of Elizabeth Keen in The Thing. They've got a very unique relationship, and it grows throughout the 5 series. Like I said, played by Diego. And now he is a great character. He's there's always, and this is where I think storyline, it's a bit hard to review, mixing that up, but with Diego, just like any other character, the storylines are excellent. They develop over the series based on events that happens, and each character gets a fair go at developing themselves. So that's Donald Wessler. That's the partner. Now there's Ryan Eggold, and he is Elizabeth's husband, which there's a lot of bumps. Not bumps you expect, but there's ties to Raymond Reddington. Not to spoil too much, I'm not going to leave it at that. But that his name's Tom Keane. So just that little egg there asks so many more questions, makes you think of so many more questions to find the answer to in the TV show. Now, there's a bunch of other characters. Now, there's one more that I would like to actually talk about. Just getting the list up. So, I think it's Aram. Yeah. He's an IT guy, and I personally liked his character. He doesn't go out in the field as much, but apparently he was actually like another, Dembe is another character who is like Raymond's assistant, and you'll get to know him if you watch a couple of the series. But like Dembe and Aram, they were both actually going to be 1 or 2 episodes, but they actually stated that they were more used throughout the whole 5 series. So that was good to see, because their characters were outstanding. Their characters were developed well, and they utilized the IT guy well in scenes and all that. So it was good to see what they did. Now, there's so many, there's a massive list of criminals, because each show they would bust a criminal, and Raymond Reddington would help a criminal. So I'm not going to go into the actual criminals. Now, there's one other character that I really would like to talk about, and she is a very key character in the whole of the whole storyline. And she's another assistant of Raymond Reddington. Now, Raymond leaves a death track everywhere. There's tons of dead people in that, unfortunately. Now, this character is called Mr. Kaplan, for reasons that you will find at the end of season 4 or 5, I think. Season 4 and 5, you get a massive amount of... that's end of season 4, I think. It might even be 3. But at the end of season 4, I'm pretty sure, you get a lot of answers. A lot in one episode. So it's a large gulpful of answers about Mr. Kaplan, why it's a lady named that and all that. But also, she's like a cleaning lady of bodies. She knows all that. She's interested in all that. So, and she's also been like a moral and ethical advisor for Raymond Reddington. Not officially, but like kind of just like, hey, you should not do this and all that. So she's been a big character in that all. But like, there's a lot more characters, but I feel, and I'm just looking for the list because there's so many just here. I feel there's not, I don't think, another character that is necessarily needed to be talked about. Because there's a lot of characters, especially for the criminals. So, yeah, otherwise, like, there's a lot of characters there, and I've talked about all those characters a fair bit there, hopefully. Now, I'm going to talk about story, because story's a biggie for this. There is, like I said, Criminal Minds has the investigating of the criminals and then a little bit of story. But the Blacklist is crazy with their stories. The surprisingly enough, it's not even the investigating that keeps people drawn in. It's the massive lump sum of what goes behind in each agent's lives that really keeps you watching. You're wondering what's happening and what's the link between their work and their personal life. So, story-wise, it's outstanding. Now, I'll break down all this. So, like I said, season 1, Raymond Reddington handed himself in. Now, there was a lot of adjusting. They didn't know why he handed himself in, and then eventually they cut a deal with the DOD, Department of Justice, to fix up immunity for Reddington and they kind of started working. Elizabeth goes for a lot in the first season. But it's really in the second season you get a lot more action. In the second season, I believe, that's when, first of all, some things start to unravel about Tom Keane, Elizabeth's husband. Things that you wouldn't, the ties that he has to certain people, you don't look at it, but all of a sudden, we're looking at Elizabeth, but we're just thinking Tom's normal. We didn't think that Tom could be used as a massive plot point. So they really twist it like that. I think the biggest thing with the story is they utilize every character, every main character more, not the criminals that come each show, they change. But they use the main characters and make massive good plots with each character. Yeah, so you learn a lot with Tom. There's relationships here and there between the others. Then there's just development issues. Now, in Season 2 also, there's a couple major events that occurs as per Season 3 and 4. 2, 3, and 4, especially 3 and 4 season, I'd say confusing, is big with events. Especially for finding out things. Like I said, the end of 4's massive, but there's a lot of, just when you think you've figured something out, they start drip feeding other content out to kind of get you grasping what's actually happening. Now, I don't want to spoil the storyline. That's why I'm just watching myself how I describe things. But there's tons of things that spoils in reviews or the content. But if you truly want to watch the show and be engaged, you don't want to know what happens at the end. Now, so Season 3 is quite a big one. There's a couple, yet again, major events. Now, there's a consistency in the investigations, but it's towards the end of Season 3, the ratio between the investigation side of the show and the plots of each character increases. So, the investigations is getting smaller and smaller per show. Because now it's coming to the possible end, or they're trying to get more information out. Because I think that's kind of, now I think about it, kind of a bad thing. Because they had so many questions arising. Eventually, it's hard to say if it's good or bad. Eventually, it's gone to a point where they need to reduce the actual investigation part, which was not majority of the show at the beginning, to be able to fit in all the plot, all the what's happening with Donald, what's happening with Tom, Raymond, Howard Cooper, all the characters. So fitting that in's hard by the end of Season 3. But they do it very well. They squeeze it all in somehow. But not only they do individual plots, they try and do their own individual storylines and plots. They combine it in a sequence of consequences and problems that just works so well. There's a big conception as you go through later into the series the multiple series, that Raymond is actually exposing Elizabeth Keene to danger, and somewhat so. So there's a lot of, I think they milked that. I know it was dangerous, but this is the biggest thing that they used for a lot of different situations, justifying tough decisions and all that. And like, I get that. It's anyone normal would do that. But I think the TV series did, however, milk that idea a bit. But yeah, season 4, story-wise, like I said, I think at the end of season 4, there's massive adjustments. Season 4 in general, there's massive events. Now, as I said, the investigative part gets smaller and smaller because you're more intrigued in the storyline, what's happening and all that. But they're mixing it very well for season 4. Season 4, you find out a lot. And I mean a lot. You find out a lot in the every episode. But you just get dumped with so much information at the end of season 4. And a lot's just turned around. I don't know why they've done that. I hope they do a 6th season, because then the 5 seem like they can continue it. I hope they don't just cut it. But season 4, yeah, there's a lot there. Like, they just want to squeeze a lot in because they didn't know if they were gonna get it in. So yeah, it's hard to comprehend. But there's a lot of stuff revealed. But also I was interested in how they did the storyline for a lot of the characters and revealing it. Most of all, when they revealed the answers to many of the questions, there's this massive, there's a massive network of reasoning, of connections between a lot of people, a lot of main characters in why certain things have happened, why the answers have more connection to the whole group than you think. So it's interesting to see how it's not just willy-nilly, these things happen for no reason, but there's a lot of massive explosive reveals at the end of that season. Also, I think there's a big bombshell that really damages Raymond, which is it's kind of like a massive climax at the end of season 4. There's so much content exploded out, revealing, and then it just blows up. But then it kind of calms down because something happens to Reddington, which I don't really want to give out. After season 4's mishaps, with one particular character that if you watch it, you'll know, causing him a lot of problems. One in season 5 then, he's actually surprisingly trying to pick up pieces, Raymond Reddington, where he's used to just having his way. So it's very interesting with the story. So that's characters and story. Like I said, storyline is perfect. The connections, just have a drink. Like I said, the connections between the characters and the story for each character adds up to this masterpiece of storyline. And it really keeps your interest up. Now, moving to interest, it keeps your interest up across the whole 5 series, because people will go, well, wouldn't you get bored just watching investigations of different characters each week? But it's not necessarily the investigations that keep you there. It's that there's little nibbles each episode that you find out something new or something happens. So that's what keeps you watching. So interest overall is outstanding. So coming up to the last thing is filming and editing and all that kind of stuff. Now, it's a very interesting TV show. I hand it that. But it is so... I don't know, there's something... It doesn't fit... Something feels off, and I can't describe it, but it's not necessarily a problem with the storyline, the plot, or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. But I tell you what, I highly suggest you watching, because James Spader playing Raymond Reddington, he deserves an Oscar or something, because he played it so well. But yeah, it's an interesting TV series. There's so, like I said, so much with story and plots. So much change, rapid change, reveals repetitively, questions being answered, more questions coming up. So there's no, it doesn't slow down until season 5-ish. But then even then it kind of still keeps that momentum. Based on season 5, I don't know. I don't know if they will be coming out with another season. I hope so, because there actually was there was less smaller reveals that still made an impact on the movie, on the TV show, but there was one big thing, one big event that they just slipped in as a cliffhanger. So I'm presuming that they have to be coming out with season 6, because from the looks of it, they've edited a certain situation, a massive question that we need answering, smack at the end of season 5. So you would have a lot of unhappy people if they didn't come out with a season 6 to justify or say, hey, why did they, what's going to happen next? But yeah, so I think there's a season 6. I'll be shocked if there wasn't. But yeah, so scoring wise, I got a sore throat from talking 20-30 minutes. So scoring wise, out of 5 for each thing. Characters, I'd give it about 4.5 for characters. There could be slight improvements per character, not necessarily on the stories of the character, but more the actual characters, like the personalities and that. But James Spader was perfect. I wouldn't change him one bit. That sounds creepy. Storyline. Whew. Storyline would have to be a 4.8 out of 5. You could not get more closer. Like, that is so... I think some minute changes would actually probably get it to the best it can be, the best TV series regarding a storyline or plots. Not only they've came out with plots for the actual overall show, they've came up with individual plots for each character and storylines for each character. So it's crazy. Interest, as I said, is high because there's always so many questions. However, yeah, it's, like I said, it's good with that. But when you're watching a 44-minute video, not every minute of those 44 minutes is giving you information because of the investigation and all that. So I give it a 4.5 for interest. And lucky last, filming and editing and all that, like I said, they do an outstanding job giving the scene, the atmosphere. Like, they had to stage a FBI facility, secret facility, and all that. They did so much. I think in one episode they actually had to fake a CIA top secret facility in the middle of the ocean. So they did some excellent job editing and filming and all that. So I'd give them a 4.7 for editing and filming and all that, because they've done a very good job with the massive multitude of logistics that goes into filming a show like that. And I think James Spader talks about it in one interview on a talk show, how just the multitude of stuff that happens when filming is crazy. So to see a good end product is good. And so yeah, so for film and editing, it would be a 4.6, which is good. Now overall, that's out of 5. That'll be a 4.8 out of 5, I think, about that. Now that's not average, but I'm just kind of feeling it. 4.8, like, you can't, like, to get 5, that's hardly nothing. So just imagine what the smallest changes would be to be able to make that tip-top and perfect. It's just crazy. Well, I better leave it there, because, yeah, I'm talking too much. But I really wanted to do this as my first review for the TV shows, because it's like you know now, it's a long review, because there's so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I've convinced you to go watch all the seasons of the Blacklist. I highly recommend it. Like, I don't think you get much better than that show. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll have more videos coming out for all my segments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.
Somebody said we